Hey everyone, Scott Hansen here from NFL Red Zone, and you're watching the Super Fantasy Bros
Roll the clip.
podcast.
Are we live?
1
Come
hour
on, man.
of
Try to
commercial
talk
free
right
podcasting starts now. Enjoy the show.
Run it.
Welcome back to the Super Fantasy Bros podcast. No Q today, unfortunately, as you can see, but we still got Matty PT Gods here alongside myself to break down some early quarterback rankings for this upcoming season. We're just going to run through kind of our top 15, 20 quarterbacks for this year, seeing where we agree, where we differ, and more before getting into some trivia hosted by me, because we do not have Q. It is some quarterback trivia, so has to fit the mold here. And obviously, these will not be our final rankings for the quarterback position. Long way to go until we get to the heart of draft season. But just some early slots, just so we can adjust in about a month or so when we come back and revisit this, as we're starting to get into more mock drafts and see where we like to draft quarterbacks. So let's get right into it. Don't need to talk too much strategy, as we really haven't started doing many mock drafts ourselves. But in general, are you guys that like waiting on a quarterback or reaching early for one of those few elite guys?
What?
I was just gonna say I usually like to wait, but this year I absolutely refuse to.
I agree. I'm usually a waiter, and last
But
year
I am not waiting.
I waited way too long, and
way too long.
dude, I was starting Will Levis at one point.
Yeah. It hurts when you wait like till like the last one and you don't hit on the late guys, because like every year there's people that wait that get that hit and they're like, all right, I got a nice quarterback late. Like you end up with Brock Purdy last year or Jordan Love or whatever. Like
I've yet to hit.
you end up okay, but if you go one quarterback strat, just take Geno Smith last year, you're hurting bad. Hurting bad. So yeah, it's tough.
Yep.
I think I'm also leaning a little bit earlier, but there's a lot of guys late this year I liked it. I think just like I feel like it's just so deep again, as always, like guys I have ranked at like 17, 18, 19 that could still be easily top 12, top 10 quarterbacks by the end of the season. So
Yeah. And I also feel like what happens is like I'm not gonna be the one to take the first quarterback, and then once one of them goes, they just fly.
They all go.
And I'm like, well, what's the point in getting one now?
yeah, I completely agree there. Let's just start at the top of our rankings. I just want to hear who you guys have at the top 3 before we go into some discrepancies we have. So what do we got? Let's start with you, T guys. Who are your top 3 quarterbacks right now?
In order: Jalen Hurts, Lamar Jackson, Patty Mahomes.
I think that's pretty fair.
No Josh Allen. We'll get to that, but
yeah, I think that's fair. I got Jalen Hurts, Lamar Jackson as well at 1, 2, and then I got Josh Allen at 3. Still sitting there. Still don't know if I love it. I kind of want to just see more as the offseason progresses, but he's been number 1 the last few years. I think losing Diggs is obviously going to hurt, and losing Gabe Davis, but I think he runs more. I think that helps pick up his fantasy points a little bit there. But Matt, what do we got? 1, 2, 3.
In order, I got Josh Allen at 1, Hurts at 2, Lamar at 3.
Josh Allen still at 1.
Yes.
Why?
Well, you kind of just hit it on the head. Like, sure, he lost Diggs, but it's not like he has the arm talent to make other receivers around him good, and he's just going to run the ball like a madman. So, if all 3 of those, Hurts, Allen, and Lamar, all running backs, all going to be very good in fantasy this year.
All running backs.
Running quarterbacks.
I agree. I mean,
off the tongue.
I have the exact same top 3. I just have Josh Allen at 3. I moved him down a little bit. I think he obviously takes a hit in the passing department a lot, and I think Jalen Hurts and Lamar still have some pretty good weapons around them, just a better core to keep those passing numbers afloat. And I think that's why me and T guys both got Hurts at 1, just because AJ Brown, Smitty, just 2 elite. Adding Saquon in the backfield, I don't see why he's goes down at all.
I mean, yeah, there's always an argument for Hurts at 1.
Easily. As long as that man's on the field, he's going to eat this season. All right, let's get into some discrepancies, starting with CJ Stroud. Now, Q was supposed to be here and defend to this take with CJ Stroud all the way up at 3, but Matt, you're going to have to defend it for him at 4. You guys at 5. I have him all the way down at 7, so I will also explain why I hate, but you can defend him first.
7's menacing, but
yeah, 7's insane. I mean, he finished QB 11 last year, and all they did was improve the offense. And he just kind of like came into his own throughout the season. And at times he was missing like key receivers like Nico Collins, Tank Dell was down. So if his receiving core stays healthy, I don't see why he couldn't finish top 5, maybe even number 1.
Yeah.
That offense is going to be electric.
Yeah, I agree. I think his upside is easily like number 1. Like, don't get me wrong. I don't think he's going to suck by any means. I think I'm just baking in a little bit of like perhaps sophomore slump. Still having to get on the same page with Diggs. Maybe Diggs ends up complaining like he has for the last couple of years in Buffalo with Josh Allen.
He
And
ain't
also
at that
last
level no more.
last season, like CJ Stroud, a lot of his stuff came in like a few like major big games where like he also had a lot of games where he struggled a ton. And yeah, I think that did have to play a part with like missing Tank Dell or missing Nico or whatever here and there. But there were a lot of games where he was throwing for like just like 1 touchdown or like no touchdowns and maybe running one in and like just not doing all that. And I think 5 interceptions last year was pretty low. I do think maybe he makes a few more mistakes as he gets into the second year, trying to push the ball down the field a bit more. I think as a whole, his offense upgrades, he upgrades, but I don't think he's still at that like elite tier until I see a little bit more personally. Just a little bit risk averse, I guess I should say.
Fair enough.
Sounds like hating to me.
A little bit of hate. A little bit of hate. I was going to bring up Lamar because Q has him all the way down at 5. Absolute hater.
Yeah, insane.
Me and T God's at 2. Matt, like he just said, also has him at 2. So,
I'm at 3.
oh, at 3. Same, very close. Either way, Q has him at 5. He's a hater. We're not even going to bring it up. We all know Lamar's good. Q
He was a
can
moron.
kick
I hope
rocks,
he's watching.
watching and crying. But I did want to bring up Jordan Love. I have him all the way up at 6 for this upcoming season. Matt and Q at 9. T God's all the way down at 12.
So you think Jordan Love is going to be better than CJ Stroud?
He was last year.
Uh,
I think Diggs obviously helps CJ Stroud, but I also think full season under his belt now with his receivers, Jordan Love with the Packers receivers now getting the best of Jaden Reed, who we saw kind of explode towards the end of the season last year. We also saw Christian Watson finally healthy towards the end of the season last year, helped spread the ball down the field. 32 passing touchdowns, 4,000 yards last year for Jordan Love. This offense runs through the pass game last year. I mean, like I said, they barely scored any rushing touchdowns, as we talked about a couple episodes ago. I do think that goes a little bit back towards the mean, so I don't know if it's going to be as great, but QB5 last year, I do think he still has that level of talent, and now second season, I think he's just going to be even more confident going into this season. So I'm a Jordan Love believer. All in this season.
That's fair. That's fair. I don't. It's not. I don't have him at 12 because I hate him. It's really just I like some people more than him.
I respect that.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I have Dak over him. I have Joe Burrow over him. I have Brock Purdy over him, which is weird, but
that is crazy.
bro, I hate it, but he is solid. Like Brock Purdy is.
Yeah.
He's solid.
I think I'm a little sleep on Purdy. I have him all the way down at 13.
Yeah,
And
fuck
like
Purdy.
he just doesn't have like that like allure of big upside, and he's also gonna lose Ayuk most likely.
Yep.
So like I think that hurts, but yeah.
And it's
understand
still a
where you're
rough
coming from,
draft.
Jordan
He,
Love.
like I might move him up a bit. Like I don't know. It's still super early. And I got Kyler over him. You'll like that.
I do like that.
I had
have
nothing bad to
Kyler
say.
over him. I don't actually have Kyler over.
No.
him. I have Kyler high, but not over Jordan Love.
Oh, okay,
I do have
okay,
Jordan
okay.
Love higher. But I do like that though. I respect that.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I got nothing bad against Jordan Love. It's just I like other people more than him a little bit.
Same reason for me with CJ Stroud, basically too. Just kind of expecting maybe a little bit of a backtrack there. Dak, I wanted to just briefly touch on because you said you had him over him all the way up at 7.
Mm-hmm.
Matt, you got him at 8. I have him at 10, so maybe I'm still asleep on Dak, but I just feel like Dak is kind of a roller coaster year after year. And I think last year, after another high season for Dak, where I think he finished like QB3,
Yep.
I think it comes back down to earth just a little bit. I know the Cowboys love to throw. I know it's kind of just their MO at this point, but they didn't change anything. I think they lost pieces on the O-line and whatnot, so I don't love this upcoming season for Dak. I think he could easily be top 5 again, but he's just not someone that I'm going out of my way to get. Maybe it's just that my Eagles inner bias hate it, like just telling me to keep moving Dak down for people that I'm very biased for, but I don't know.
Bro, they just put up so many points.
I know. It's gross.
And they just pour it on, no matter what the score is. I don't know.
Yeah.
And they 36 touchdowns last year.
They were similar to the Packers in terms of like just not running the ball into the end zone much either.
Yeah.
Like Tony Pollard had 6 rushing touchdowns on the season, maybe a couple for Rico Dowdle here or there, but it was not a great rushing season like we have seen in the past with Zeke and whatnot.
Yeah.
So,
and I don't think it's going to get any better this year.
Yeah. Might move him up a spot or two. I'll think about it, but rough draft right now.
No, I love
Dak.
Dak.
Still top 10.
I love Dak.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Admitted to loving the star on camera.
I love so many people that they have.
They do have some good players.
Not sorry.
I can't lie, but I hate them. Sorry, can't deny
I hate
it.
them as a whole, as a unit. Not a fan.
Yeah. Moving on to man of the hour, Kyler Murray. I got him at 8 right now, which is above Dak. T-Gods, you have him at 11. Matt, you got him all the way down at 13, and Q has him at 12. So even Q believes in Kyler more than you, and he is anti-Kyler McGee. And wait, before I do anything else,
Uh-oh.
Matt and Q both have Kyler over Kirk Cousins. What a world we live in.
Could easily change, only a rough.
Oh my god, okay. All right.
That's your guys' excuse, so I'm going to admit it.
No, that's fair. I have Kyler all the way up at 8. That's just my bias at this point. I'm still a major believer in Kyler. I think Marvin Harrison Jr. definitely gives him, honestly, maybe even like I think a huge upgrade over Hollywood Brown, but like even like the end of D-Hop for the last couple of seasons was kind of slowing down a little bit there as well. So Marvin Harrison Jr. can maybe kind of get a spark back on this offense. Also added Zay Jones. I think this is a good position for Kyler to kind of maybe start the season healthy, finish the season healthy. That's really all we need, and we can see another top 10 fantasy season easily. So I understand ranking him lower if you're worried about the injuries, but
Yep. Hasn't played a full season in the past 3 seasons, so
He's
I know,
due.
that's why.
So
he's
due.
I don't
He's
know
so
if that counts
due.
as due.
Due.
That's
Need
what
him.
scares me away from him. I mean, obviously we've seen him be good in the past. He's finished like top 3, top 6, but not playing a full season the past 3 seasons. History kind of repeats itself. So if I'm going out there and drafting a quarterback to win me games throughout the whole season, I don't know if he's going to be high on my priority list.
I feel that. I definitely understand the baked-in injury risk with Kyler. I'm just still bought in on the upside, and I think for sure he's a top 10 quarterback if he's able to stay healthy for 16 games. That's really the biggest key there. With his mobility and everything, it just makes it too easy for him to do so. All right, next one here, Matt and Q on the Justin Herbert train still. If Q was here, he'd have to defend it more. He's got him all the way up at 11. Matt at
That's
12.
absurd, dude.
I got him at 18. T-Gods has him at 20. So, Matt, I guess you start us off. Why do you still love Jay Herbo?
I just trust his talent. He's a good quarterback. Hopefully, Quentin Johnston and what's his face, Arnie Palmy step it
Yep.
up.
Lad McConkey.
And Lad McConkey. I was gonna get to him. I think he is gonna help Justin Herbert out tremendously. Obviously, it hurts him losing Keenan Allen and Mike Williams, but that's why he's not ranked like top 7 where he usually is, and bumped him down to 12. But I still believe in his talent, and the talent around him doesn't have to be great for him to be great.
I disagree. I think he's mid.
That's fine. That's why we live in America.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, T-Gods, I guess you can just say why you don't love Justin Herbert as much.
Kind of opposite of why I like Dak, like because the Cowboys put up so many points last year, and the Chargers were 21st in points per game last year, and all they did was like clean house. They have nobody, dude. They have nobody.
Yeah, I would agree with that. They traded away a lot of people. They also got a new head coach that is a run-first, defensive-minded head coach. He brought in a few running backs, although not very healthy running backs. Gus Edwards, J.K. Dobbins, just stealing John
Poop
Harbaugh's
and poop.
old backfield.
Literally. I don't know what.
Lad McConkey, Josh Palmer,
I love Josh
Johnston.
Palmer,
They're
though.
both nice.
Stop.
I do think
Dog shit.
this is a kind of a year where we can see, like, is Herbert legit or not? Because now he kind of has to prove it without the talented wide receivers around him and without Eckler just easily catching 100 balls out of the backfield when they're gone. So this is definitely a prove it year for him. I'm definitely a little bit more risk averse here as well. I got him at 18. He obviously showed last year that he could still sling it for half of the season before he ended up getting hurt. But he also definitely had some duds last year too. So we'll see if Justin Herbert's for real or not.
I'm not giving up on him yet.
Take him.
respect
Draft
it.
him, please.
I'll take him as like my QB2
No.
after I get.
Yeah, I mean, me and T Gods all in here on Aaron Rodgers.
Oh,
T Gods
yeah.
at 10, me at 12. Matt, you're a little bit of a hater at 17. Q, the biggest hater at 20.
20 is
Sound asleep on my old man. I guess I'll start. I love Aaron Rodgers still. Still a great offense. I don't think he's going to be nearly as like elite level Aaron Rodgers, but I think if he's 80% of the old Aaron Rodgers at this point in his career, with the weapons he has around him, he's going to thrive. I mean, Brees Hall caught 76 passes out of the backfield last year, led the league. He's going to have a huge safety blanket there. He still gets Garrett Wilson, adds Mike Williams, still has his guy, Alan Lazard, who's probably not going to do much, but drafted Malachi Corley. Like, this team has a ton of weapons for Rodgers to thrive. So I think if it's, again, another question of health with a lot of these quarterbacks, but if he's good to go, full strength, by the like we see in preseason, we start to see a little bit of action game 3, and he looks good. Like, I'm ready to take Aaron Rodgers late in every draft. Again, I'm ready to get hurt again, essentially.
Yeah, he's always literally he's top 9 every single year except for one that he's played every game.
Yeah. As long as he's on the field, man, he's gonna
so
at least be top 12, like at least.
He's out
as
here
long as
looking
he's-
for revenge. He's gonna get his get back, and he's
Yeah.
gonna feed Garrett Wilson. Oh my God, they're gonna be so good.
Love me some Garrett Wilson. I'm all aboard. Matt, why do you hate him?
I know you guys kind of swayed me, but I'm sticking to my guns. I don't know. Just coming off a torn Achilles, like he's in his 40s, a year away from, like a full year away from football. Obviously, it hurts anybody, and he's getting up there in age, so I don't know how quick he's going to really be able to pick that back up. I mean, obviously, he has the arm talent, the arm strength, but the mobility and stuff like that, I don't know how quick he'll be able to get that back if he gets all of it back. But obviously, he has weapons around him, like you guys said. So, I mean, it's really just a question of if he took a step back or if that injury is just kind of linger for him. So I'd rather just wait and see.
Yeah, I respect that. I think it's definitely kind of a toss up there, but I'm definitely all in on the positive side of Aaron Rodgers. I'm spinning that positive all day.
Which I get it. I saw a TikTok, I think it was yesterday, like he was the most talented quarterback ever by far.
Yeah, I
And
think when
I
he's on the
agree
field
with
and
it.
healthy, like he's so talented.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Not bad.
love me some Aaron Rodgers. Kirk Cousins, last one we'll touch on real quick. T-God's actually the lover of Kirk Cousins on a Kirk Cousins usually hater side with me. T-God's at 14, me, Matt, and Q at 19. Obviously, again, these are early rough drafts, but T-God's, why do you like Kirk Cousins more than us?
Just because, like, I don't know, I just was looking at his history, and I always hated on him, but he's always been pretty solid.
Yep.
And if I know the Falcons, they are going to be losing most of the games. He's going to be throwing a lot. His receivers are kind of mid. I probably may move him down a little bit. But I don't like. He could finish top 10 any season. Like he is solid. I will admit I was hating for way too long. Derek Carr is not better than Kirk Cousins.
Not even close.
Hey, okay,
Yeah.
calm down. There was a point where he was
There was
pretty
a point
good.
I would believe that. Yeah,
Um,
not anymore.
yeah, I don't know, just Kirk, Captain Solid Pants.
Kirk McGirt.
I'll defend the negative side because I know Matt's still positive despite the ranking. I just think going into a new offense is going to be tough, coming off a major injury. That's really the only thing that's really hindering me. I think 4 out of the last 5 years, his ceiling was kind of like a back end QB1. I think now heading to Atlanta, like I think his weapons downgraded. Like Drake London is not Justin Jefferson. Kyle Pitts is still a fraud. Darnell Mooney and Rondale Moore are just some random names you're throwing in that were pretty bad the last couple of seasons after some early flashes in their career. So, yeah, I just don't love the situation, especially like going to a new offense, trying to relearn everything, whatnot. So, don't love it for Kirk. I still think he could easily, again, be that low end QB1 that you want, but I'm not going out of my way to try to grab him personally. That is all.
Yep.
All right. So before we do some bold takes, let's just do our favorite early and late round target. These early guys are going probably like top 6-ish. So just kind of the favorite out of there. And then a late guy that's kind of going after QB10. Who you like there? Let's start with you guys. What do we got?
Oh, wasn't ready for this. Who do we got?
Early round target.
Early round.
We got
Here we go. CJ Stroud. I want CJ Stroud on my team. Bro, like, I know Sean's hating, little sophomore year slump, blah 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 blah. Their team is so good. I don't. Oh my god, he was so good last year. The only thing that does scare me is that they're going to be up probably in games, so they may not have to throw like kind of like they did last year, but I don't know. They're just too good. I don't know. I just really like their offense. I like everything about their offense. I think Stroud is super good, super talented, and I think he's going to be the best quarterback in the league within the next couple of years.
Yeah, I think he's already an MVP candidate. Like he was last year in the Rookie of the Year debate. Like there was a period of time where people were like, "Is he MVP at this point?" So yeah, obviously the upside's there.
Yep,
I get taking him early for sure. Matt, let's go to you for early before we do late ones.
Love it. I'm gonna go Jalen Hurts.
Easy peasy lemon squeezy.
Yeah, finished top 3 the past 2 years. Each year his passing touchdowns have increased. Although last year he had a uncharacteristic 15 picks, I think he tightens that up a bit. And obviously his weapons: AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, now Saquon coming out of the backfield. Goddard, love all of them. And his rushing ability is a big thing that also does it for me. You know, if they get to the 1 yard line, he's good for 6. So just absolutely no reason for me not to have Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, I completely agree. And you're getting him at the price like below Josh Allen, like almost like start of the 3rd round. Usually you're reaching like early 2nd to kind of get that QB1. And obviously it's very early in ADP and draft season and whatnot, but at that price, I'm taking Jalen Hurts all day.
All day.
My early round target, a bit of a different one. I am still rocking with Joe Burrow. He's actually going a little bit lower than I think he will be closer to draft day. But now that he has T. Higgins back in, I don't think there's any reason why you should be asleep on Joe Burrow at this point. Especially now that Mixon's kind of out of the picture and now they have Zach Moss. So as long as Joe Burrow's healthy, I think he's going to be slinging it this season for sure. They're going to have to rely on him a little bit more. They still have Jamar Chase, who's going to feast as always. And maybe they lost Tyler Boyd, but I don't really think that's going to make him lose a step at all. They added rookie Jermaine Burton, who looks pretty good in camp already. So I'm still on the Joe Burrow train. He was QB4 in 2022, QB7 in 2021. I think he could easily be a top 5 quarterback again, and you're getting him at the price of like QB8 right now. So I think it's going to go up. I think his ADP is probably going to go up, but I'm still willing to take him even as QB5 off the board, even like QB4, because I have him ranked that high. I'm still in on Joe Burrow.
Love it. That was my pick at first, and then I was just like, I'm going Hurts.
Yeah. Again, it's another injury risk, but it's one I'm definitely willing to take there. T-God's late round target, back to you.
I'm doubling down on this because last year this was my late round pick. This was my whole strat going into the draft. I was going to get Garrett Wilson early, and then I was going to wait and get Aaron Rodgers. Sean snagged him from me. He was the only one that didn't have a quarterback besides me, but that's fine.
Didn't help me though.
Yeah, no, yeah. But no, we know that if he's on the field, he's going to be a top 10 quarterback no matter what. So if you can get him where he's going around like 14ish, 15, 16, something ridiculous.
Yeah.
If you can get him there and like just fill out your team, but
He's going QB 20.
bro, come on.
That's
Come on.
insane.
Like if
He's
if
going
you
one QB ahead of Deshaun Watson. That is
Yikes.
absurd.
I mean, come on. Come on. What are we doing here? See, I mean, I'm all in. I'm all in again. I think he'll come back. I think he'll be all right. It literally just comes down to if you trust that his leg's going to be all good.
Yeah, I completely agree. I'll just double down on that. That was also my late round target. I think in any draft where you can get Aaron Rodgers as your QB2, you're fully set. If you're not a QB2 person, I'm still willing to take the risk and draft him as my QB1 and then ride the season out with maybe someone like Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels, whoever ends up kind of sitting out there on waivers, even like someone I'd be more comfortable with, like Matt Stafford, who's still out there. There's so many, like the quarterback position is so deep this season that I'm not too worried about it. So Aaron Rodgers is someone I am targeting so often in late round this season. So all in there with you, T-Gods. I love it. Matt, who is your late round target? Because I know yours is a bit different.
Yep. You mentioned him. I'm gonna go Matthew Stafford, the forgotten Matthew Stafford. Didn't have the best season last year, coming off injury, but I mean, he has Puka Nacua and Cooper Cup, and Kyron Williams had like 50 targets in 12 games last year, so I only see that going up. I think Stafford still has the talent, and he has the talent around him to succeed. And the Rams, I don't know how much they're just gonna like ground and pound the ball, but obviously they have two of the better, maybe the best receiving duo in the league right now. So, I mean, he's fit for success as long as he stays healthy and just does his thing. He'll be just fine.
Yep. Completely agree there. Stafford's also the one I really like taking late this season too. So good agreements across the board. Let's do some bold takes. Matt, start us off. How bold are we feeling?
Pretty bold, I guess, considering Brock Purdy just finished QB6 last year. I believe that he is going to finish outside the top 12. Chances are he loses Brandon Ayuk, which was his number one receiver. Debo, I don't know if he could pick all that slack up by himself. Obviously, have Kittle, but
He stinks too.
Kittle and Debo
Juwan
are
Jennings.
both kind of injury ridden, and Kittle's getting up there in age a little bit, so who knows if he lost a step. And I just think Brock Purdy's a great game manager, but I don't think he has the talent alone himself to get him in with the names like the Joe Burrows and stuff like that. So,
yeah,
outside the top 12, he goes.
Get him out of here.
Like that take. Get him out of here. Get him out of here. Do we got a bold take as well?
Hell yeah, we do.
What do we got?
A little weird. Anthony Richardson leads the league in rushing touchdowns. For quarterbacks.
Okay.
Potentially the whole league. 3 full games last year, 4 rushing touchdowns. Come on. I mean, he's a menace.
He's definitely going to be nice.
He's a menace.
Anytime touchdown every week, baby.
Oh my god, I was hammering that.
I was hammering it so much early season.
Oh my god. Yeah, next Cam. I don't know. He's fun to watch.
He's so good.
That's something to root for. I don't know. I'm about to check his rushing touchdown line.
Ooh, that's juice. I don't even know if they'll have that up yet, but
I doubt it.
It'd be juice. If anyone does, it's probably DraftKings. But yeah, that's a juicer right there. I do like that take a lot. I definitely think that's one that could come through.
Yep.
My bold quarterback take, Kyler regains. He's healthy for all 17 games, plays them all. Top 5 quarterback. Why not? As long as he's healthy, Trey McBride, Marvin Harrison Jr., Zay Jones, this offense is better than it was in the past. We've seen him in the past be top 3 top 6, like Matt said, even top 10 when he missed a handful of games. I'm still in on Kyler. I'm still a believer in the talent. As long as he's healthy, I think he can do it. So I'm going all in again. Top 5. I don't
All
care.
right.
He's my ride or die. I'm still riding or dying. I've died the last couple seasons, but I'm going to be back up this season. Way
Maybe
back
you
up.
learn after this one.
Yeah, I might have to learn my lesson. We'll see. But I'm hoping I don't have to learn anything.